Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing today on Tuesday, April 14th. So we should all be in the Tuesday, April 14th folder. There are 3 things in this folder. The first thing is a do now. The second thing is a worksheet. And the last thing is something for you to check your solutions, not copy, check your solutions for your worksheet. Remember, we do have a quiz on Friday, and so it's really important that you're really practicing this on your own before you actually check your work. So let's start with Tuesday's do now. Now zoom in a little bit. You can just do that by using 2 fingers to zoom in on your screen. And then I'm just going to read this to you. It says, starting in the top left corner, we have worked with linear functions way back in quarter 1 that take the form y equals mx plus b. If you remember, a linear graph looks like this. So if you look at our picture, we worked with linear functions way back quarter 1, I think, and also quarter 2. And they took this form, y equals x plus . So that's what we used to work with. Okay. Last unit, we factored expressions in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So by factoring, we mean we made the area model box like this. And we used it to help us factor expressions that were in this form. We call these, I don't know what I just clicked there. We call these quadratic functions. Quadratic functions. And we will be studying their graphs this chapter. Here is an example of a quadratic function that I graphed on Desmos. Notice how it looks very different from a linear function. So this was the linear function from before. When we graph a quadratic function, it looks like this. Notice in the equation, we have an x squared. That's our highest power. So it's a degree of 2, if you remember, from when we learned some of that vocabulary about polynomials. And the shape of the graph looks like a U. Sometimes the shape of the graph goes the other way and looks like an N. Your task today: go to Desmos and type in your own quadratic function. That means that the highest power needs to be an x squared. Take a screenshot of the graph and post it as a comment. Then look at everyone else's posts. What do you notice about every graph? So, in the bottom left corner, I'm just going to click the word Desmos and it'll take me to Desmos. And I know that I need to have an x squared. You can use the x button and the squared button to get x squared. Then I can either add or subtract something that has an x. And then remember, we always have some constant number at the end. Okay, so to finish, I'm going to take a screenshot. So to take a screenshot, there's two buttons you need. You need to use this button in the corner, and then you need to use your home button, which is this button. You just click them at the same time. Okay. I'm going to go back to the top left corner and close. Then I'm going to go to the discussion on the right. I'm going to click this plus sign in the upper right corner. And attach the photo that we just took. Recently added. A lot of video recordings on here. Click check. And I'm going to say, I noticed my graph looked like a U. Then I'm going to click the check mark in the top corner. And now my comment has been added. So I'm going to go back. So after you finish today's Do Now, you're going to need to do the parts of a parabola practice, which is the second thing in your Tuesday folder. If you need to refresh yourself on the notes from yesterday, you can rewatch the videos from yesterday. The sign language interpreted one is the second link. And then you need to complete and re-upload a picture of your work. So here is the practice. It says parts of a parabola practice filled in. So we took notes and we wrote some notes on the top to kind of help you. And then you're going to be filling out the bottom 2 pages. So there's 2 pages that you need to do. Make sure on the top right to open this in Notability so you can practice. If you can't remember how to do that, you need to go back to the first week on using Notability. Then we can go back in the top left, back again. After you've submitted this, so make sure you submit your practice. You are going to look at the end of Tuesday, parts of a parabola solutions. So end of Tuesday means that it's the last thing you need to do today. Here we have the solutions for all of the practice questions. You can flip through the two screens in the bottom middle of your screen. Remember not to check your answers until you've done the work. Otherwise, it's pointless and it's not really going to help you. Only if you get stuck on something can you look at these while you're working. All right, that's it for today. Hope you have a great Tuesday. Please let me and Miss Omar know or Mr. Roger if you have any questions. Bye.